We start this hour in West Asia, and Palestinian Foreign Minister Varsen Agyabekian Shanin has said that the UN Security Council's adoption of a resolution endorsing US President Donald Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza was a necessary first step on the long road towards peace. On Monday, the Security Council adopted the US-drafted resolution, which also authorizes the deployment of a multinational security force to Gaza. The resolution's text also allows member states to join a board of peace to oversee Gaza's reconstruction and economic recovery. Shani noted that other critical issues remain unresolved, including Palestinian self-determination and eventual independence. He emphasized that the process for implementing Trump's plan must adhere to international law. The Palestinian Authority, based in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank, previously welcomed the vote and expressed its willingness to participate in Trump's plan. However, the plan does not provide a clear role for the PA. European and Arab states have insisted that Gaza must be governed by the Palestinian Authority and that a clear pathway to Palestinian independence must be established. The Israeli government, which opposes an independent Palestinian state, rejects any involvement by the Palestinian Authority. This is what the Palestinian Foreign Minister has said.
The UN resolution is a first step in a long road towards peace. That step was needed because we could not embark on anything else before we had a ceasefire. So the ceasefire is important, and it has been important for saving Palestinian lives. But it means that there are other issues that we need to tackle. It means we need to ensure that this is governed by international law, that it's not divorced from the New York Declaration, that it truly embodies the issue of self-determination.
We're now joined by Yossi Kupawasa. He is an Israeli intelligence and security expert, and he joins us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you very much, Yossi, for joining us. Israel rejects any role for the Palestinian Authority, which of course are based out of Ramallah. Why are they opposed to such a body governing Palestine?
Well, the Palestinian Authority, they governed Gaza until 2006, but they were kicked out by Hamas because they were too weak and too corrupt, and the Palestinians themselves kicked them out by shooting them and throwing them from the 15th floor of the high-rising buildings of Gaza. So that's what happened, and that's how they left Gaza. We left Gaza beforehand. We left Gaza in 2005 and left it in the hands of the Palestinian Authority that couldn't rule it. So, and I don't think they got any stronger in Gaza ever since then. So it's a dangerous move to let them govern Gaza, because this would eventually lead again to Gaza being governed by Hamas. And besides that, there's a big problem with the Palestinian Authority, because they are also involved in promoting terror, and they pay salaries to terrorists that are carrying out attacks against Israelis. This is something that has to be changed.
Yes.
So the plan says that for them to have a role, they have to go through reforms. And let's see if they are going to go through those reforms.
Yossi, if not the Palestinian Authority, who does Israel expect to run Gaza in the long term?
I think that the plan is very clear, that there are going to be Palestinians living in Gaza who are not part of the PA, who are not part of Hamas, that are going to be governing Gaza. These are, at the beginning, they're going to be technocrats. And I hope that in the later on future, there are going to be people that are interested in improving the living conditions of the people of Gaza, and not in turning Gaza into a launching pad for terror attacks against Israel, as was the case with Hamas, and this was the case with the Palestinian Authority too. That has to change. Even that's why there's going to be a process of de-radicalization, and I hope that this process is going to be successful and will enable them to govern Gaza. In the meanwhile, Gaza is going to be governed by the Palestinian technocrats and by the Board of Peace headed by President Trump. That's going to overlook the rest of the bodies that are going to be established, like the International Stabilization Force and the governing temporary authority that is going to take care of Gaza in the meanwhile.
Yeah, and Yossi, the resolution backs, of course, a multinational security force. Is Israel prepared to cooperate with foreign troops on the ground that do not cross Israel's red lines? And what are those red lines?
Well, I think we are going to be involved in the process of vetting who is going to be a party of this force. And we are not going to let in forces that are known to be very close to Hamas, like Turkey and Qatar. But there are other forces, Arab and Muslim forces, that can be involved, and the international forces that can be involved that are not close to Hamas and are not going to cooperate with Hamas. And we hope that this force that's going to get full support and cooperation is going to be successful in making sure that Gaza is not going to be unstable, and that Gaza would not be a launching pad, as I said, for future terror attacks against Israel.
Okay, Yossi Kapawasa, thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX World. It's a pleasure to have you. We now move on and to some further developments coming out of the Israel-Gaza crisis. And Palestinians in Gaza City are uncertain about the UN resolution on Trump's Gaza plan, while some factions reject it, claiming it does not serve Palestinian interests. The Palestinian Authority has welcomed it. Critics argue that the resolution may place American trusteeship over Palestinian territories, with Trump leading the Peace Council alongside figures like Tony Blair, neither Palestinian nor Arab, suggesting potential foreign control. The key issue remains whether this resolution will be effectively implemented on the ground, as many past resolutions have failed to materialize. It also raises concerns about further fragmentation, particularly in Gaza. Let's listen in to some Palestinians.
يعتبر الفلسطينيين أن هذا القرار هو قرار وصاية على الفلسطينيين في قطاع غزة، ولا يعبر عن طموح وآمال الفلسطينيين بتحقيق السلام وإقامة دولة فلسطينية. من بين ما برز في بنود هذا الاتفاق أن يكون هناك مسار فلسطيني، مسار للسلام تديره الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية ما بين الفلسطينيين والإسرائيليين، يفضي أو قد يفضي إلى إقامة دولة.
We move next to Europe, and Russia has slammed